Hello everyone. Very good morning to all. In the last class, we discussed about the types of errors in Python programming. As we seen many three types of errors and we discussed them, practically I explained some of the examples also. So in this lecture, I will be explaining about the variables in Python. So variables is very most important topic in Python programming because without knowing this topic, you can't assign many variables and you can't um, create any objects and we cannot assign values to many other data types in upcoming classes also. So that's why it is one of the most powerful feature programming language because this has an ability to manipulate variables. So why it is important means it can able to change the variables and it can able to change the values that are assigned to the variables. That's why it is very powerful tool in variable Python programming. So now I will explain what is variable. So variables are the reserved memory locations used to store values within a Python program. It means Python variables are reserved memory locations. It means if we want to store any values in a program, and these variables are the reserved memory locations. It means these are the locations for the variables in order to store the data. So if we want to store the data in Python program, we will use variables. So these variables will store the values and its data type, its data in the form of variables. It means whenever you create a variable, it will reserve some place in the memory. It means automatically it will create a space in the memory. So after creating the space, it will um, it will reserve that place to the variable. It means whenever you had given a name to that variable, and whenever you had given a value to that, that value will be stored in that memory, and that is the location of the memory. So, and also you can able to see a variable is a name that refers to values the assignment statement creates. So, and also based on the data types of variable, Python interpreter allocates memory and decides what can be stored in reserve memory. So, in the variables also, we will define various data types like int, float, and string. So, based on that data type, in which data type we are giving, based on that, that interpreter will allocate memory. So, whatever the data type that you are giving, based on the data type that you give, it will decide what to store and how to store and uh, how it should allocate to the memory. And also by assigning different data types to Python variables, you can store integers, decimals, or characters in this variable. So by assigning different data types to Python variables, so if you are assigning different data types to these variables, you can able to store integer variables or decimal variables or characters on that variables. So those are the things that will happen inside the memory location. So here you can see message is called what's your name. So this is the string data type. So this will have a memory location in the space. So n is equal to 17. 17 means this is integer data type. So it will store in another memory location because this is integer type and this is integer type and this is string type, so both cannot store at the same place, so it can store in different places. Next one, pi is equal to 3.14159, so this is the float data type, so this will be stored in another memory location. So here we are seeing three different data types like string, int, and float. So those are very different data sets, and also those data types will be stored in different memory locations. And also, program programmers generally choose names for their variables that are meaningful. It means most of the programmers will choose the variables which are meaningful. It means they will always choose the variable which will give best meaning and which will get meaningful words. Those names only they will select. Inappropriate words will not be chosen by the programmers because they will not understand those type of inappropriate variables. So please wait 1 minute, guys. So this is the thing that is happening in the variables. So variable names can be arbitrarily long. It means you can define the variable names in the long also. There is no uh, uh, proper rule that you should only define the variable in shorter form. You should not define in the longer form like that. So you can able to define the variable in the long format also. There is no restriction. So and also they can contain both letters and numbers. It means whatever the variable that we are creating, you can in that variable even you can include both letters and numbers and also but they have to begin with letter and the variable names whatever the variables that you are creating it should only begin with the letter only it should not depend with the number although it is illegal to use uppercase letters by convention we don't if you do remember the case matters it means if you mention the two variables one variable is in a lower format and another one is in upper format both are not same despite they are having the same names, but you are mentioning that uh, one is in uppercase letter and another one is in lowercase letter because they are both are different. Why means it is case sensitive. It means Python is very case sensitive, so it will think it is very different from each other. So the underscore character can appear in a name. So whatever the name that you are giving, uh, in that name you can define underscore character. It is often used in names with multiple words. So underscore we will use this underscore letter whenever we are using multiple names with multiple words. So suppose you are using like uh, machine instruction. So you cannot continuously give that machine instruction. So in order to give that proper variable, you need to put the underscore in between machine and instruction. So that is the meaning of this line. If we give a variable an illegal name, we will get a syntax error. So already in the last class we have discussed about the syntax errors, logical errors, and semantics errors. So whenever you give a illegal name, it will think as Uh, it will think as an illegal name and it will a syntax error like that. And also, here see 76 rhombones. So here we are started with numeric. It is started with numbers. So that's why it will not consider it as a variable. It will throw an syntax error. That's why here output is given as a syntax error. And also more dollar is equal to you are giving this variable to this. This is also invalid syntax because special symbols are not allowed to introduce in the variables. And in the this class also see it will also give syntax error. So there are some certain rules and regulations to be followed in the variables and how to start the variables and what rules should be followed and how the variables will become valid and how the variables will become invalid. We'll see now. So now also here you can see every value in Python has a data type. Yes, whatever the value that has in Python, it will contain a data type also. One variable contain integer data type, another variable will contain float data type, and another variable will contain string data type like that. So different data types in Python are numbers, lists, tuples, strings, dictionary, etc. So there are different types of data types available in Python. There are number data types, list data types, tuple data types, strings data types, and dictionary data types. Variables can be declared by any name or even alphabets like A, B, C. It means in order to define a variable or in order to declare a variable, you can use any name or even you can use any alphabets also. There is nothing problem by defining any name or even using alphabets in the Python programming. You can use both the names or you can use the alphabets. There is no problem at all. So now we will be seeing what are the rules to be followed while naming the variables. So first one, variable name should start with letter or underscore. So whatever the variable that you are giving, you always need to start with letter only. It means alphabetical letter. Or also you can even understand it can be always started with underscore also. So here you can see valid variables name. Age, here underscore is yes. This is invalid. Valid, sorry. So the invalid one is one and age because it is started with number. The variable name should not start with number. It always should start with letter or underscore. That is the case that we are seeing here. I think you understood my point. So next one, in variable name, no special. Let us start. Let us see one example. I will also show practically. So I am using Google Colab. You also need to maintain a Google Colab. Better to have that because it is very to use. And so I am showing with practical implementation. So what is the first rule? Variable name always should start with either a letter or underscore. It means you should always start with alphabet or underscore. Now I am giving um, variable equal to 10. Print variable. Now see, please wait. It is taking some time to see here. It has given output as 10. So why it has given output means we have started with alphabet only. We did not start with another one. We followed the um, rule over here. And also how it has given output 10 means whenever you get send a value to this variable, it will create a memory location to that inside. What is happening inside means you are assigning value 10 to this variable. So inside the memory location, it will create a block to the variable, and also inside that block, here whatever the value that you are given, this value will be stored inside that block. It means this value is stored inside that memory location. After storing the value of the variable memory location, when you print that variable, it will print that value, whatever the value that is present in the variable, it will print. That's why we are seeing output as 10. So next also we can see we can also start with underscore also. Yes, see here. So we are followed always started with the first one. We followed the first rule. It means it is started with alphabetical letter only. And in the second case also, we followed the uh, same rule. It means we started with the underscore character. So in those two cases, we did not face any problem. And also in the next one you see, this is invalid. It means if you start with the numerical one, it means if you start with the numbers, it will throw an error. It is not a proper variable conventional method. Let us see here. Already see here. It is showing red line over here. It means this is not a proper variable name. And also this indicates that it is an error. It will give an error like that. Otherwise, if you are having any doubt, just print it. So here, give it gives syntax error. It is not a proper syntax for the variable. So you will always start to. It means you need to start always start with alphabetical character, or always you need to start with underscore character. That's why it gives an error. So next one we can see in the variable name. No special character allowed other than underscore. Except underscore, you should not allow any other special characters like dollar or star or um, like that. If you allow it, it will create an error and it will give output as an syntax error. So you cannot start with special character. It means you should not include any special character. Here, here you see how it will give error. So in this example, we can see that here I used a special symbol at the last of the variable. So it gives syntax error whenever you use special symbols inside the variable. It means at the end or at the beginning or in the middle. If you use any special symbol, it always gives syntax error. So you should not use any special symbols. That is the second case. But you can use like that age underscore or underscore is like that. And also variables are case sensitive. It means uh, here you can see age and age are different because here you are started with a small letter a and here started with capital letter. Why they are different means their ASCII values are different. That's why they are case sensitive. Because of the ASCII values, these variables are different and those will be stored in different memory location. So whatever the values that are stored in the different memory location, those will be printed. It will not bring the same value. So because of the case sensitiveness of the variable, these both two variables are different. Otherwise, I will show you an example. So let us see. mm, A is equal to 30. A is equal to 30. Print age, print age. Now let us see here. Sorry. See here. So here I am assigning value to this age variable 20 and for the same variable it means it is in the lowercase letter. Here I am in the second line I started with capital letter age. So I assign value 30. So it means not printing the same value because both are case sensitive. Small a and capital A are different from each other. That's why it is printing different values and also those will have different memory locations. That's why it is printing different values. Because of the case sensitiveness, it is printing different values and it will consider as different values. And also because of the ASCII-ness of the ASCII values of the character, it is different. These both variables are different. Of course, in the English, you will say age and age of a person, but in coming to programming languages, these two are different because of the case sensitiveness.